So I've asked her a few questions. First one, what does being an Adventist mean to you?
Well, being Adventist, we being Seventh-day Adventist, it respects the Sabbath. It means a lot because it's not to be too prideful or care about ourselves, but it's the right religion, the one that always follows the Bible. So that's what it really means to me. It's the right religion.
What are major differences between a Christian and an Adventist that you have noticed?
Christian is overall believing in Jesus, like Pentecost Christian, Catholic Christian, and there's Seventh-day Adventist Christian. But Seventh-day Adventist is getting more specific into the Bible and into the Sabbath and other things too.
Um, how important do you believe service is to one's spiritual life?
Say that again?
How important do you believe service is to one's spiritual life?
Service. Well, if you think about it, when you serve others, like especially some old people or for some other people, when you serve them, they're happy in a physical way, and your physical self or your physical body also connects with your spiritual body. Spiritual body also connects with your mentally. It affects mentally. So if you help someone, it'll help them mentally and physically. Also, it will lead to their spiritual life, and it's very important because they could ask questions. If you serve someone and you're Seventh-day Adventist and you're Seventh-day Adventist, then that opens up to their spiritual life.
What effect, if any, does the belief of the investigative judgment have on your life as an Adventist?
Investigative judgment. What does that mean?
Because Jesus moved into the most holy place, and he's right now, I think, going to the book of life and judging his people from the dead to the living.
Well, Judgment Day.
Ish, kind of Judgment Day-ish, yeah. It's very complicated. You have to be a GYC to understand it.
Judgment. What's judgment to me?
Ish, yeah. Yeah, answer that, yeah.
Judgment to me is the thing that only God can do. God can only judge us. God can judge us in our hearts because He knows what's in our hearts daily, and He judges us a lot. And sometimes judging is very. It brings a lot of questions because what do they have judges, and why do a lot of times we criticize other people or we judge them? Mm-hmm. It's just a lot to talk about. Judgment is something that only God can do. That's what I would say.
Last question. What effect, if any, do the events of 1844 have on your life as an Adventist? 1844.
1844, isn't that when?
Your disappointment.
See, that affects a lot of things because it takes a lot of faith to believe that Jesus is coming on that day. And now we know that we don't know what time Jesus is coming, only the signs that we know when Jesus is about to come. So that affected a lot of lives. A lot of people lost their faith. But we have to always know that will. Say the question again. That will.
How does it affect your life as an Adventist?
It gives me more faith and more it gives me more enthusiasm for Jesus because it wants me to get ready more. If He's not coming this day, then I wanna keep going, and I'm eager and I'm excited for His coming.
All right. Thank you, Jim. First question: what does being an Adventist mean to you?
Being an Adventist to me means, since I was born into it, being able to bring other people into it too. You know what I mean? Like, me being born as an Adventist, I feel like it's my duty to bring other people into Adventism.
What are major differences between a Christian and an Adventist that you have noticed?
I feel like when Seventh-day Adventists tend to treat Sabbath with more respect, because some Christians just go to church and the rest of the day it's to them, but for us it's mostly the whole day.
How important do you believe service is to one's spiritual life?
I feel like service is probably one of the most important things in somebody's life, because that's one of the ways that you show respect to God and repaying Him on how He died on the cross for us.
What effect, if any, does the belief of the investigative judgment have on your life as an Adventist?
I feel like it could be more than, it could have a more of effect on me than, it should have more of an effect on me than it has right now, because right now I'm still in my process of, getting closer to God and getting more in depth with Adventism. So I feel like with Seventh-day Adventists overall, it's a pretty big effect.
What effect, if any, do the events of 1844, the Great Disappointment, have on your life as an Adventist?
I feel like the Great Disappointment basically has a lot to do what we're taught in like seminars and in like books, readings. So I feel like it's really, really important. So
Thank you. Yeah, I need to answer a few questions about the meaning of being Adventist. First one, what does being Adventist mean to you?
For me, especially like with the world we live in today, I'd probably say just standing up for especially the Sabbath, because usually a lot of the sports, especially at a public school, are on Friday night or Sabbath, and so just standing up for like saying, oh hey, I can't do this activity tonight, or oh hey, I can't hang out, then is something that is different, or what Adventist means to me.
What are major differences between a Christian and an Adventist that you have noticed?
Food-wise, especially since a lot of my Christian friends still eat beef, which is kind of weird. And again, as I mentioned, the Sabbath.
How important do you believe service is to one's spiritual life?
Very, very important, because well, yeah, because I think service was a big part of Jesus' ministry, and if our goal is to be like Jesus, then service, we need to be able to carry out services.
What effect, if any, does the belief of the investigative judgment have on your life as an Adventist?
Oh man, I think. Can you repeat the question one more time?
What effect, if any, does the belief of the investigative judgment have on your life as an Adventist?
I haven't thought about it a lot, but I actually only fully understood it at GYC when someone actually explained it to me and they were having a sermon on it. But so far, it had little impact. I probably should know more about it. I'd want to know more about it.
What effect, if any, do the events of 1844 have on your life as an Adventist?
As an Adventist?
1844, Great Disappointment.
Yeah. I remember looking up, I was Googling Seventh-day Adventists for the website, and then I saw that we were, Seventh-day Adventists underneath was that we were responsible for the Great Disappointment. And I was like, that's not right. So I think the impact, just the fact that not a lot of people know we weren't really responsible for the Great Disappointment. It was just a matter of kind of weird events. So.
All right. Thank you.